On September 15, 2023, the Volta River Authority initiated a control spillage of the Akosombo Dam when the water level reached 272.5 feet.
Began control spillage of water from the Akosombo Dam and Pong dams owing to high inflows into the reservoir, resulting in the water level exceeding its upper levels. The spillage is to prevent the water from overtopping and compromising the integrity of the dam.
About 38 days later, on October 9, the VRA announced the need to increase the spillage due to rising inflow, requiring the opening of an additional 4 floodgates. By this point, the inundation had affected many districts, with Mepe being the most hit. Evacuation exercises were intensified as homes were submerged. Government stepped in, with the Deputy Minister of Energy leading a delegation to the hydro dam, where a detailed presentation was given on the reasons, methods, timing, and consequences of the spillage.
In July, we depend on the Ghana Meteorological Agency for forecasts because the water that comes, it comes through rainfall. At the time, the forecast gave the indication that we are not supposed to expect too much water into the reservoir. So at that time, if you look at, in terms of elevation, what we should expect, we're supposed to go as high as a maximum of around 274 feet, which is 2 feet below where you would normally want to, your maximum of 276. But in August, the situation changed. The same GMET now issued a new adapted forecast that the situation has changed and we should expect a lot of rain going forward. So then we set our EPP in motion. Once we got that information, we set our EPP in motion.
Government's priority, as always, is to first of all make sure no lives are lost in the process. We abate and reduce and cushion the effect that it has on property, and the unfortunate ones that will be affected, property that will be affected by the spill. Government, working with VRA and NADMO, will ensure that the properties are restored for the persons whose properties will be affected.
The spillage continued, with the VRA releasing 185,000 cubic feet of water every second, causing the floods to spread further downstream.
VRA has a monitoring team, that went to the lower Volta even before we started the spill event, and they are still there. Together with other actors like the district assembly officials, NADMO, etc. They are monitoring the situation and then giving us a feedback of what is going wrong and how we have to react. The emergency preparedness plan, as we have been briefed on, classifies the various phases and what we have to do. So at this stage of phase 2, we have established what we call the emergency operational centers. That's the EOCs. And these are manned by NADMO officials. And they coordinate all the activities that are going on in the various communities and districts. So they give us feedback of all the, that is the impacted, or the heavily impacted areas, for us to also respond immediately to their needs.
Concerned about the impact, the VRA delivered the first and second batches of relief items, estimated at more than 1 million Ghana cedis.
What you are seeing now, we seek to intensify our humanitarian efforts to bring in more relief items. So that is what you are seeing here. So basically we are targeting 9 districts. We joined NADMO to donate the first batch of items at Central Town, that's at Idobe. We are here now at North Town, and we'll be looking at the other districts.
Mepe, the hardest hit community, became the emergency operations center, with St. Kizito Senior High School 7 as the largest safe haven, sheltering an estimated 2,000 victims in the first week alone. The distribution of relief items intensified.
We have decided to move to every room per household so that we can get everybody on board to get at least the food stuff, basin, toilet roll, everything, so that nobody will stay without any relief items.
Member of Parliament for North Tongue Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa launched a mobile relief caravan initiative aimed to aid 10,000 victims.
I mean, virtually the entire Mappa, we are in Mappa now, the entire Mappa traditional area has been affected. And even those who may not be in the camps are putting up with people in Bato, in Aveima, and other places. So what we are doing is making sure that we don't only serve those in the camps, but we identify. So a couple of days ago, we announced that those who are putting up in various homes should come to the Mappa Presby Park, and we did a distribution there. Today we want to focus on the camps. We are the Mappa RCJHS, and just adjoining this compound is the Mappa St. Kizito Senior High School. We are going to make sure that they receive their items.
On October 16, 2023, President Akufo-Addo paid a visit to the affected areas. He toured the Mappa St. Kizito Safe Haven and announced the formation of an inter-ministerial committee to manage the disaster.
We agreed to establish an interministerial committee to coordinate government response to this tragedy. The most important thing was, first of all, to ensure the life of people. And that is why 9 centers were established here in Mappa for all the displaced people. I'm aware that you are farming people. Riverbanks that have overflown and destroyed many of the farms. So one of the things that the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Finance, and the Office of the President is going to be working with the District Assembly is to decide exactly the nature of the support.
While warning against politicizing such disasters, the president made this statement.
I came here because Ghanaians are having difficulties and are suffering. And it is my responsibility to try and help. Because if it's a question of counting who votes for me and who doesn't vote for me, I shouldn't be here, because you don't vote for me.
This was met with a demand for an apology from the National Democratic Congress.
Clearly, from the information that we have picked from our MPs and our people on the ground, it shows that the government doesn't really care that much. It shows clearly that so far, the government has not shown real commitment to the people of Volta region. Let me also say that on behalf of the people of Ghana, the NDC minority in Parliament want to apologize to the people of Volta region for the statement made by the President of the Republic of Ghana. We consider that statement as very unfortunate, and this statement should not come from the father of the land in times like this. And it surprises us, and we are really disappointed in a statement coming from His Excellency the President. We call on him also to apologize to the people of Volta region in particular for what he said.
Former President John Dramani Mahama, the NDC party, Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin, and others donated relief items to flood victims in Sogakope on Friday, October 20th, 2023.
But today, His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama has given us some items to donate, to show our concern. We know that this may not be enough, but this is our widow's mite. We came here with 2,000 bags of rice. Together, the NDC party is spending approximately 1.5 million Ghana cedis for this donation.
Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia also toured affected areas and donated 160,000 Ghana cedis to flood victims.
On behalf of Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, this is a personal contribution to add to what government is doing, and this goes to the 8 districts that have been affected by the spillage. It's 160,000 Ghana cedis to be shared across the 8 districts, personally coming from Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, in addition to what government is doing.
While relief items continue to pour into the North Tongue district, flood victims in South Tongue lament neglect, saying they are compelled to rely on polluted lake water.
Within my community right now, it's about 2 weeks plus. The water has never flowed from the pipe. So everybody is now depending on the polluted water.
My people still use the river to do some household chores.
For about 2 weeks now, we are really suffering because this is the only source of water that we have. Apart from this water, you won't get any water anywhere. In the morning, this is where they fetch water to bath, to cook, to drink. Some of the people, they don't have access to pure water, to pipe water. So this is the only source of water that they get.
However, through Joy News' reportage, relief items started trickling into these areas.
Due to Joy FM's reportage on the situation at Sokpe and other areas yesterday, we were touched. Vorticool Park decided to support the people of Sokpe, Mepe, Adada, Gagave and other areas. We have started with 500 for each community, but the starting is 7,000. We are distributing 7,000, and we'll be in this till the situation returns to normal. We hope to distribute about 20,000 bags by the time this thing is gone down.
The disaster has impacted virtually every aspect of human existence: social life, education, businesses, farmlands. While hundreds of school-going children remain at home, 20-year-old Gertrude Nuchukbi, a graduate of Akachi Technical School, decided to fill the gap.
What can the ears do? What can the ears do? It can hear, it can hear.
Businesses continue to tally their losses.
Since morning, I have not made any single sale. Even yesterday, how much did I sell? 500 cedis. So
before, how much would you have sold on a day, on a regular day?
Yes, like 2,000 or 3,000. But now, yesterday 500. Today, nothing. We are really suffering.
The elderly are the most affected. With tears in their eyes, families struggle to survive amidst the disaster.
Because I'm
The VRA reported spending 9 million Ghana cedis as of October 23, 2023.
VRA has committed to an amount of 20 million to be used to handle this. I must say that since the spilling started, there has been calls for procurement of things, and so it is something that is ongoing. But at the last count, I think we've spent about 9 million cedis towards the procurement of food items and all the things that has been done so far as was enumerated. But in total, VRA is committed to spending an amount of 20 million cedis.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Sanitation and Water Resources, Freda Prempeh, has blamed flood victims of the Akosombo Dam spillage for not heeding to early warnings from the authorities to evacuate.
We don't want what has happened at Akosombo to happen to us in Accra. The Akosombo spillage, even though VRA, NADMO, the Water Resources Commission came together to educate the people in the community, did simulation exercises with them even at Mepe, yet they refused to leave.
As of October 23, 2023, 36,000 Ghanaians have been counted as those bearing the brunt of the Akosombo Dam spillage.
As we speak now, current figures collated by NADMO stands at about 36,000 people who have been affected so far.
But The Volta River Authority maintains that not spilling the excess water would have had far-reaching effects on the dam and the country as a whole.
VRA has a mandate to keep the water level up to safe levels, beyond which we stand the risk of dam break, which is an unimaginable event. That worst case, if VRA allows it to happen, it means that the impact would be far greater than what we have seen.
With the spillage ongoing at 185 cubic feet of water per second, and victims in homes collapsed, and major public health concerns arising, the big question on the lips of the victims is when life will return to normal. Carlos Caloni, Joy News.